Hello everyone and welcome to what is going to be a new style of video on my channel. As we're heading to 2020, I just wanted to recap some of my favourite cross stitches that I've completed in 2019. Now some of these haven't actually been completely finished, I've just finished stitching on them, which I just sat around waiting to be completed. So one of the things that I'm going to focus on in 2020 is actually finishing them. I have a couple of ideas for the pieces I've got lying around at the moment, and I want to try a few new styles in the new year. Heading on, we're going to go into this countdown today of my 10 favourite cross stitch pieces of this year. My 10th favourite piece was the Frosty Christmas card. It's a card I made that I had planned to make for a few of my friends, but as per usual, time had escaped me. And this would have actually scored higher in the top 10 if I'd managed to actually use it for my friends' Christmas cards this year. So I may still make it for Christmas 2020, and I might actually start that soon, so it's actually ready for Christmas 2020. Moving on to number 9 is the 12 Days of Stitchmas. This was completed in February 2019. This piece is one of the pieces waiting to be finished into an item, and I am planning on making this into a wall hanging, but I just want to find the right hanger and the right backing fabric before we finish this piece up. But it's something I do want hanging in Christmas 2020, so I will be looking for cheap Christmas materials now after we've gone into January. Moving on to number 8 is the I Love You. This was a test piece I stitched for Carrie, also known as 8-bit stitch, and I fell in love with this pattern because cute animals and puns are just me. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to actually finish this piece up or whether I'm going to make one with an alternate colour palette for one of my friends, but either way, this pattern was a great one to stitch and test for Carrie, so thank you to Carrie for letting me test it. Number 7 brings in a pattern I actually designed myself. The Home is the Good Wi-Fi Is. This pattern was originally made up to send to a friend, hence why it's framed and ready to send, but things got busy and I never ended up sending it. However, this pattern did actually inspire me to create a few more. I think currently I've got the Home is Where the Dog Is and Home is Where the Cat Is up on my Etsy shop, and there is more patterns in the similar theme that I'm going to work on this year, so you might want to keep your eye out for those. Number 6 is the only stitch along in 2019 I managed to keep up with, and that is the Hello Pumpkin cross stitch. I'm not sure what I'm going to make that into, so it hasn't made it close to the top because it is actually still unfinished, even though I finished stitching. But either way, I really enjoyed stitching the piece and keeping up with it. And I do love any piece from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I've got several of their other stitch alongs to actually finish up that are from years previous. I'm also proud that this was the one piece I managed to keep up with and complete. Moving on to number 5 is the first stitch swap this year that I participated in. It was organised by Jenna from the Pixel Stitch Discord. The person I had was a massive fan of Kingdom Hearts, and that just worked well, because the bookmark in this picture I had previously stitched for Nathan anyway, and then because I have lots of odd bits and bats and other things around, I managed to make the additional piece of the keychain, which is a little charm from the keyblade, which really actually added to the little parcel. On top of that, I got slightly carried away and ended up adding a few bits from Etsy to make a full Kingdom Hearts package. It had an art piece in it, it had the little keyblade knitting stitch marker, and the 2 pieces I had made. And it was very greatly received by my swap partner. Number 4 is another gift, but this time this is one I sent to my friend Jack. Me and Jack have started talking a lot more recently, and we have both found out that we have similar interests. And the quote on the pattern is one we came across when we were talking about inspirational quotes that can improve low mood. And I really love this quote because of the way it makes me realise that things are only bad if you focus on them. So even in the toughest of times, you'll always have someone to turn to. And I think this year it's helped both of us feel better. So I thought it was the perfect quote to send to Jack. Coming into the top 3, we have a card I made for my grandma when she was in hospital. She had to have a lung surgery where a wedge of her lung was removed. And I know that my grandma being my grandma, she'd want to be out and about straight away. But obviously with something that big, you do need to rest up. So this card reminded her that she needed to have a bit more patience before jumping back into life. And I can well assure you that she jumped back into life both feet first when she could. But it's helped her make a full recovery. In second place is the most recent Biscarnu swap. This made it high on the list because it was something new that I tried, and I'm very happy at how this piece turned out, because even though it's a little understuffed, I am overly joyed with the complex pattern and how it actually looked when it was completed, which was hard for me to visualise because I've never made one before. This piece really did test how I approach working to new things, and I did just go ahead and do it, and if it didn't work, I'd have to start again. However, luckily for me, it did work the first time. This was another piece that was also very well received, even though it was slightly late. The swap partner was thrilled with it and said it was well worth the wait. And obviously, in first position is my Love is Love finish. This piece was very special for many reasons. The first is the fact that it's stitched on hand-dyed sparkly Ida from Carrie. The second is the phrase and the colour pattern obviously remind me of Pride. And third, I actually managed to finish it in the month of Pride in June. This piece was fantastic to work with. The fabric and the pattern worked really well together, and I am hoping to find a perfect frame to complete this whole piece in 2020. So let me know down below what you think of my top 10. Is there any pieces you remember me completing that aren't on this list? And would you have maybe put them a different way around? Because obviously this is my top 10, but it might not be yours. So let me know in the comments down below, and I will try and reply to everyone. Okay, thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.